This week on You Gotta Be Kidding Me, Gary goes to the dentist.
Ouch!
Yeah, I'm sure that's going to go really well. Should the comeback have come back? That's a question. And the joy of 8-track tapes. Whew, what a great format.
Oh, I love this. I don't know if I'm going to be in the show, but I sure want to watch.
You gotta be kidding me.
Yes, I am.
Okay, here we go.
It's You Gotta Be Kidding Me with Tony Perkins and Gary Stein. No, they're not related. They're just good friends. And now, here's Tony and Gary.
Wow.
Wow. I think last week I did one extra hit. This week I cut it short too soon.
Yeah. And being the musician that you are, you should stick to mime. I think.
Mime.
Yes.
Does
Really.
anyone do mime anymore? It's probably...
You and Tom Bergeron are the only ones I know. He still practices everything Marcel Marceau taught him.
Does he do mime? Does Tom Bergeron?
You know what? I'm thrilled that he started out as like a street mime.
Did he really?
Yeah,
I did not know that.
Yeah, he did. He would, in Massachusetts.
Okay.
He did mime and magic and the kind of stuff that Carson began with.
Right. Although Carson didn't do mime, but very interesting. I did not know that.
You didn't need to point that up. I mean, you could have left my story alone.
Well, I'm a perfectionist.
You got to fix it, don't you?
You got to be accurate. Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, ladies and gentlemen, whenever you are listening. Welcome to episode 6.
Or watching.
Or watching, that's right.
Yeah.
That's right. Now you just corrected me. Welcome to episode 6 of You Gotta Be Kidding Me. I'm Tony.
I'm Gary, and correcting you happens more often. Okay, go ahead.
How are you,
talk
sir?
now. I'm good.
You seem extra loud in my ears for some reason.
Oh, I hope so.
Yeah.
I hope so.
In my cans, as they say.
Oh, wow.
Business, yeah.
Okay, you've been in the business for like over a year.
Yeah.
Rob, do you need to turn his cans down?
You know what? His cans are his own responsibility.
Does Gary sound good to you, Rob?
Better than ever.
Oh, okay. All right.
And also subtle, not so persistent.
Right.
Now don't you dare. Can I say one thing? Okay, because listen, I'm getting very good at being able to reference things that people aren't seeing.
Right.
So that refers back to me being called a nudge. And before we go on, I just want to say one thing to you, Tony.
Yes.
I was on a PI job a couple of days ago.
A private investigator.
Oh, good. You did that, and I didn't. Yeah. So I was doing a private investigations job, and I was about 2 hours into it, and a car pulled up next to me that I was convinced Rob Spiewak sent. And it's not, I swear to God, I took this picture. I took my camera away from the house I was watching,
right,
and I shot. It's not just pest solutions, it's serious pest solutions. And I'm still convinced it was a Rob Spiewak attack.
That is very funny.
Not me. I don't buy minivans.
All right, now we have a plan here. However,
plans are for babies.
I know, but you just made reference to I had a PI job. We have never discussed that on the show.
No.
People don't know that you have another side to yourself, a very unusual, odd side where you do some private investigation work.
Yeah. It seems out of character.
Yes, it does.
But I'm not sure what my character is. And I also know that I'm not consistent. But for a guy whose life was kind of in comedy, if people watching and listening now don't know, I also did a lot of armed security.
Yes, that's
and we
right.
did a lot about that on the last show. The other series we did,
right? That's right.
In the 40s, and meeting all of those people led to meeting some private eyes, and I decided that I think I'll do that for a while. So I go out and do surveillance, and I learned a lot and applied it early, and I kind of like it.
It's quite fascinating, and you've called me sometimes. What private eye is that from a private eye show?
That's the funny end of show stinger from the Rockford Files.
Oh,
he's normally talking with Rocky or Beth Davenport, and something funny is said, and then
What?
Now I remember it.
Can you relock your booth, please? Could you, Rob, relock? So I do private eye work, and it's peculiar, but as I explained to the various bosses I've had in the PI world, it employs an awful lot of things I learned as a producer. You know, you're telling a story, you're following people, you're trying to figure out what's going on, and they're all saying stuff like, his videography is better than most of the other PIs. And I go, I don't know why. I don't know why. It is a lifelong photography, you know. So yeah.
And this is one of the things, and you know, I've said this to you a variety of times over the years. You have a lot of interests. And because of that, you have been able to pursue a wide variety of things. You know, sometimes if the TV jobs aren't there, you say, well, let me try this. I've always been interested in this. And that's very admirable, and it's very cool.
Well, thank you.
Yeah.
I think I'm flexible, you know.
Which is you have to be. So here's a question, though. And again, this is not how the show was supposed to start, but folks, you're used to this.
Hey, please.
You've revealed that you're a private investigator.
Yes.
You are, some people are watching this. You're on camera.
Yeah.
Does that mean you're out of the business now because you've revealed yourself? Someone could see you and go, wait a minute.
It's a good question. I think what it means is that most of the time I will not investigate people of a different persuasion who are doing local news and have an early morning show where they have to get up at 2:30. I have to compartmentalize the people that I'm willing to investigate. Now, completely bald podcasters that live in Washington are still fair game for me.
Oh,
you know,
gotcha.
Yeah,
Okay.
you know, mostly the white ones. You know, I got to say, because they commit most of the insurance fraud. You know, and
He's talking about you, Rob.
I'm growing my hair out effective now.
As we speak. All right. Well, I just want you to be safe. So, you know, think about it. And maybe you need to wear disguises from now on.
I wear Groucho glasses.
Oh, you do? Well, that certainly does
Yeah.
not call attention to you.
No, it does. But they look at me and they're scared. So they just.
I'm not following you at all.
You know what I do for real? When I'm in a neighborhood, like a residential neighborhood instead of commercial, I will call the local police department and I say, hi, I'm Gary Stein. I'm a private investigator. They ask me if I'm carrying. I say, yes, I am.
That's good. Okay.
And they want to know the license plate of my car. And because this way, people are pretty observant, and I like that.
Yes.
They will say that a truck or something has been there all day, and they'll call the police department. The police department will say, we know about it. He's fine.
Okay. Wow.
So,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then I often shoot those neighbors. But when the day's over, you know, but I wait till it's over.
Right. Because that's just fun for you. It's not.
Well, it's not fun. It's target practice because I have to make sure that I'm actually like.
So, and we're not going to get into this. We'll do
Are we ever going to do our show?
We are going to do it in a moment, but because again, you just talk and you just go. You just say things and just keep going. So you said they asked me if I'm carrying. I tell them yes.
Yes.
So obviously that's a reference to a firearm.
Well, it could be, but I've also stopped at like a specialty shop and picked up some items, and that could mean that I'm carrying. No, I am carrying a firearm, and I don't have to disclose what the firearm is. They just want to know. No, they just want to know if I'm carrying, and I say yes.
Okay.
And they know that PIs will carry, and also I have a license in New York and New Jersey and Pennsylvania to carry.
Whole different side.
And it's not the funny guy, but you know, we are a lot of different things. You're funny, and then you nap. And so there's a lot that goes on with you too.
Do you have a good relationship with the police of the two states where you were a PI?
When I'm not handcuffed, I have a very, very good relationship with the police.
Because
here's the thing, Rob. You know, I'm always in a different city, so I'm calling the police department of the town I'm in.
I see, because I have a motto. It's always good to open with a joke. And so, what if you called and you said, "Hey, it's me, and I'm Garying."
Gary, oh my God, that's terrible.
No.
Give yourself a wah wah.
Yeah, because the thing that they would appreciate the most is if I actually tell them a good joke. So I think that if I tell them I'm Garying and I go, get it? I think I'm going to be under arrest, and I won't get the job done. But anyway, that's that. That's
okay.
yeah.
Just it's very interesting because you mentioned it, so we got to explain it. Now, let me ask you a question. You've got the green screen again. I will say once again, I don't mind it. Looks good, but I assume you're going to put something new and different up behind you.
Well, that's your problem. I don't know. Well, the thing that I'm going to talk about at the very beginning of our show today is that day before Why am I done? Because the day before yesterday, I had to have a molar pulled, which they refer to as surgery.
Yeah.
And so I thought I would put something up that just sort of expresses I'm pretty good about all of this. This is not the first time that I've had a tooth pulled. I've had wisdom teeth removed. I've had some oral surgery before. So I'm pretty good about all of this. I walk in feeling like this pretty much. This is how, for people who are just listening,
right.
That is a picture of Dustin Hoffman in extreme stress while Laurence Olivier is drilling his teeth in Marathon Man.
Oh my goodness, that is
so.
That is one of the most brutal scenes in movie
history. Yeah.
And I think everyone who saw it at the time were like, I am never going to the dentist again.
I know people who didn't go for a very long time after that. Yeah.
Wow.
I knew people who watched Psycho and they didn't take a shower for 3 or 4 years.
Yeah, well, that's I don't know if it was 3 or 4, but there are people who said no more showers. They took baths.
They did until they saw a movie where somebody was stabbed taking a bath, and then they would just do like a sailor's bath, which is what they call it, using toilet water. So
toilet water?
What? Oh, I don't have to be accurate. It's a comedy show. So can I?
So you had a tooth extracted.
I did.
Okay. How'd that go?
Okay. Now look, I feel like in most cases I'm really willing to reveal myself, probably more than you feel like hearing. And so I want to tell you, I try so hard, but I want to tell you what happens to me.
Okay.
And there's a thing going on behind me, which is a different me going, please stop.
Yeah.
Please stop.
Right,
So I want to tell you what it's like when I do something that I'm afraid of.
Okay.
I'm not good at the dentist. Okay. I'm not. You know, I have had a lot of work done.
Okay.
But every time I do something like this, it's like I've never done it before.
Mm-hmm.
It was louder. It was louder.
Oh.
Yes.
Oh.
Okay.
You don't want to hear that kind of drill.
Okay.
There you go.
Okay. So simultaneously,
yes.
I heard both of those sounds.
Wow.
The high speed pitch of a drill and also jackhammering. But let me just say, you know what's funny? He actually thinks he's helping my story. I mean, that's how out of touch he really is.
Okay.
I told you I wanted someone else. You said no.
Okay, for the sake of this story, fewer sound effects, so Gary can get to
feel free, do what you want. The Beatles. So
great, here we go.
I want to portray
the Beatles.
You started it.
I'm done. I'm not.
No, you are done because this is your last show. So I want to portray what I'm like.
Okay. All right.
This might be a little bit of an acting job.
Okay.
And then I want you to show me what you're like. I have an idea of what you're like, and I'm going to say that, and then you're going to show me what you're really like. Okay.
I will be truthful.
So I have or toothful. So I have just walked into the surgery room, and I just met Chris, who is the nurse. Okay. And now I'm treating her like she's Mother Teresa because she has to save me. Right. And all of a sudden, a 3-year-old emerges from my body. And I go, hi, how are you? Want me to sit down? Yes, could you please? Sure. Hi, I'm Gary. What's your name? I'm Chris. I'm Chris. It's going to be fine. Oh, I know it's going to be fine. No, I'm sure it's going to be fine. I don't have a problem with this. How do we start? Well, would you like some music? Would music be comforting? I don't know. I sometimes put music on. I sometimes don't. But yeah, sure. Well, why don't we put on some music and we'll see how we feel afterwards? And so she said, well, we only go to YouTube. I said, okay, go to YouTube. Gary tried to calm down. I am. Shut up. Yeah. So go to YouTube and we have everything. Yeah, I have everything. Pull up Sarah Partridge. Who? Oh. Sarah with an H, Partridge, spelled like the family. Yeah. She pulls it up, and I say, okay, and she starts playing it. And she goes, oh, there's a lot of music there for Sarah Partridge. She starts playing the music, and I say, I'm not going to say anything more about it. I'm not going to. I feel fine. That's my wife. Her name. Really? That's a really. Yeah, that is. That's my wife, and she's got 8 albums out. She was singing jazz, but she's made the transition now into doing sort of like a 70s rock band. Oh, you hear that guitar? That's our son, and and they're doing they're starting a band called Midtown Direct, and it's all good. And the doctor walks in, and I go, hi.
I'm sure the doctor's like, what's going on in here?
Well, he hears a lot of noise. And believe me, I'm telling myself to shut up. Right. And I just can't. And I said, I have a question. I just have a question. Do you think you'll be taking it out as like a solid tooth where it goes crack, crack and comes out? Or do you think you're going to be cutting it? And so the doctor now he's looking at Chris.
Oh, yeah.
Well, I'm probably going to cut it in quarters and then take it out piece by piece. Oh, so I don't need to switch to like the earpieces because if you're going to go crack, I'm going to put the earbuds in and just so I don't have to hear. And he said, well, the earbuds won't help you because you will be hearing the jackhammering. And I said, we don't need the earbuds. We're good. The hell with the earbuds. And I'm telling myself, you are not helping, and they think you're nuts.
Yeah.
You're out of your mind.
Yeah. Relax, calm down.
And they're looking at me the way I've looked at many people in my life, which is askance. I'm looking at like,
good word.
What is wrong with you?
Right.
It's just a tooth extraction. And by the time it's done, I'm applauding. I'm telling them what an amazing job they did. They probably know they did. Mm-hmm. They tell me there's going to be bleeding. I want to know how much. I know that they can't tell me how much. Just bite down really hard on this gauze. And I started biting on the gauze. And all of a sudden on this side, I got a giant cramp that extended out of my jaw. And I said, I don't have a mirror. And I said, are you seeing a lump on the right? And the doctor said, well, actually, you do have one. And now they're massaging my jaws because I've clenched so hard. I've caused body cramps everywhere. And as soon as they took the gauze out, the cramp went away. And he said, you're not really bleeding anyway. And I had to watch a whole video about what to do for the next couple of hours. And I took like an antihistamine before I got there because it has a numbing effect.
I'm not sure you're supposed to do that.
They're only using lidocaine. They asked me if I wanted laughing gas. I said no. I laugh a lot, but that's not gonna help me calm down. So I think this is what you do. Okay, then you're going to tell me.
Yes, I am.
Okay, you get in the chair.
Yeah.
I'm picturing a guy who is absolutely fine. Whether you are inside or not, this is you. You sit down and you say, hi, I just have one question. Can you tell me approximately how long this is going to take? And the doctor said, well, I think about an hour and a half. Why? Well, I have a few things I have to do. I've allotted till 3:00, but if it goes beyond that, it's Friday. My pharmacy closes early, and I was planning on picking a few things up for myself and my wife, Rhonda. No, you're good. Sometimes. Okay. That's me in all my glory and embarrassment.
Okay. First of all, I do have a couple of questions. Have you been to this? This is your regular dentist or the person who does these?
No. Have you noticed that dentists don't pull teeth anymore? They don't do crowns. They don't do implants. He sent me to an oral surgeon. I wanted to go to the guy that I always went to in New York, but it doesn't make sense to go into the city for something. It was like 10 minutes away. New doctor, never met him. It wouldn't make any difference, really.
Okay. It'll be interesting to see if he lets you come back. If like you,
I doubt it.
you schedule a follow-up. They say, I'm sorry, the doctor's, he retired.
I think they would let me come back if they brought in a shrink.
Right, for part of the process.
Yes.
So lidocaine, is that a shot that they give you? Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Yeah. See, here.
Could you be you?
Yeah. Okay. I'll be me, and I'm not
I'm not going to like it. I'm not going to like it. No, because I think you're fine. And
I am fine with the dentist. I go in, hey, how are you? Good to see you again. I've had the same dentist for a long time. She's a woman, and she's very kind, gentle.
Does she lean over your face when she works on your mouth?
What do you mean?
I mean, does she lean over and work on you and you encourage more dentistry?
No, there's none of that going.
Okay, all right, just asking.
She just has a gentle touch, and she. So I'm not worried. I don't now, but let me say this: aside from wisdom teeth, I've never had a tooth extracted. I've never had a root canal. I've had a crown.
What a jerk.
Yeah, well, I mean, my teeth are good. Why are your teeth so
mine are
bad?
too, and they're not bad. So he said to me,
see how defensive he got? But wait a minute, you said you've had extractions before. How many extractions have you had?
50. No, here's no. Listen. When Billy had the same problem, when I was a teenager getting braces, they realized that I had 2 teeth in the roof of my mouth growing up that they weren't visible.
Right.
And so it's for the first time I had oral surgery, I was like 13, 14. Terrified. I think I begged my parents to just, let them come in however they're going to.
Right.
So the oral surgeon had to uncover the eye teeth. And then they had to pull 2 teeth on each side. Oh. And then the orthodontist wired the teeth in the roof of my mouth that were now exposed. I mean, I had highways and byways built. I had, so over the period of a year or so, those teeth were pulled into position. I had braces I had stitches in between my teeth and everything. And then I had my wisdom teeth out,
Right.
Nothing extraordinary. They couldn't save this tooth, which I was begging them to save.
Right.
They said, we've had a lot of work done on that tooth, and it's right next to the root of the other tooth. I was begging my dentist to find a solution, and he said, this is great. I could cost you an awful lot of money by doing a root canal or doing a crown, and I don't think it's going to last. Let me bring in the other dentist, and I'm begging him to differ. He concurred. He said,
so it makes more sense to pull it out.
It makes more sense to pull it out. And then this other dentist said, and I leave it. Don't think about doing, what do you call it? A new tooth. I just said the word, an implant. An implant.
Yeah.
But I don't think you're going to miss that tooth.
Because it's at the back.
It's all the way in the back. And I said, well, you don't know this, but I have a very special relationship with that tooth. I've known it a very long time. We've been very, very close. And he looked at me like, what? What's
You're
wrong
an
with
oddball. Right.
What's wrong with you?
Here's what I will say. Now, this is interesting since we started out the show talking about you being a private investigator. Now, carrying a weapon.
Yeah.
And I know that most of those cases are just, maybe it's insurance fraud or something. You're trying to catch somebody. It's not like in the movies where all of a sudden you're involved in a murder mystery and, being chased down the street and all that kind of stuff.
Not most months, no.
Not most months. But it's still, you don't know what's going to happen.
It's potentially dangerous, as was doing arm protection.
Right.
Very dangerous.
So you're fine with that. I am. The dentist, you turn into a quivering 6-year-old. Which is,
There's no reason for you to agree with me. I know what you're doing. I know what you're doing. You're trying to get away with a shot. I know, and I don't mean an injection. Oh no, you are. You.
It's the two sides of Gary Stein. It's very
Listen, it's a real dichotomy because my wife is a soldier. Sarah just had gum work done. It was an hour and a half of nonstop surgery with her mouth pried open.
Oh my goodness.
And I swear to God, if I don't ask about it, she's not telling me.
Right.
I mean, I went, before I went to the dentist, I stopped at kind of, in South Orange, we have an old-fashioned kind of 5 and 10 where you get gum and soft drinks or whatever. I've known the guy there for a long time. Sure. I walked in, I grabbed a soft drink, I grabbed something else, and I was paying, and I said, I'm on my way to have a tooth extracted. And he looked at me and he went,
okay.
Oh, yeah. Good luck with that. Yeah, right. I'm going to drink the Diet Coke afterwards because I don't think it's a good idea to have it now. And he's looking at me like, I've known you a long time, but I really hope you leave the store now. I know it. I can't help myself.
You bought a Diet Coke. What was the other item you bought? Was it potato chips or something?
No, I knew I was going to the dentist, so I bought Depends.
At the 5 and 10. Wow.
They have everything. They have everything.
They do.
Yeah.
All right. Well, that's, I'm glad you're doing better.
I didn't say I'm doing better.
Well, no, we didn't even get to that.
No, I am.
Okay. Good.
I'm so disappointed that I was sure that exactly how you tell me you behave, because you have your own little picadillos also, you know.
But and I do, and you're right. But you know what? This is weird. When it comes to this kind of stuff, the doctor, I had a what do they call it? A laparoscopic robotic prostatectomy in January of 2025 because I was diagnosed with prostate cancer.
As was I.
Yeah, as were you. Right, that's right. And but I'm pretty. It's weird. I'm fine with all that stuff. I don't worry about.
You're so not fine with everything else.
Everything else, and I've always said that the littlest things I will get angry and upset and like, what is going on? And
I don't know what you're talking about. I have no idea. I watched this all through Good Morning America I'd go like,
big stuff. Do you know when I was, now I'll bet we were the opposite on this. When I was diagnosed with cancer, which fortunately I had the surgery, I'm fine. I get my blood checked every 3 months. Everything's good. When I was diagnosed with prostate cancer, do you know I did not go online and start reading about, possible complications, what I should do and all that kind of stuff. I decided I'm just going to talk to my doctor, consult with some other doctors about these things. I am not going down this wormhole because most people, it scares them to death. But you would think I would do that kind of thing.
Yes.
No.
Why are you so logical when you're not logical?
I know.
So I'm on a PI case. And this, I told you about, you and I have talked about this. I can't stand that in your My Portal, you will often see the results before the doctor.
Yes.
And you shouldn't look.
Yes.
But I can't stop myself.
Yeah.
So I was in the field chasing some, lowlife, and I see that in My Portal, you have test results. Yeah. And I say, I'm not looking at those. And I went right to it, opened it up,
of course.
And it said, high likelihood of significant prostate cancer.
Yeah.
And so I drove to the doctor's office.
Wow.
As soon as the case was over.
I was going to say you abandoned the case?
No, I finished the case. I shot the doctor.
Right.
No, I went.
What do you mean I have cancer?
Boom. Maybe I don't now. So I went, because I said, I need to see him. I don't have an appointment. Right. I need to see him.
Wow.
And you know what my cancer doctor's name was?
What? Is this real?
Yeah. I'm you know what?
Maybe you shouldn't.
I'm actually thinking about
maybe you shouldn't.
Yeah.
Okay, if you don't want
okay.
to, you don't have to.
Maybe later.
okay.
So I drove to his office and he had me come in, and he's very nice. He's very nice, and he said, I didn't get to see it yet. I said, well, look at it now. Could you look at it now? I just need to know where. And he calmed me down and he said, it doesn't mean. Yeah, here's what we can do. He hasn't even really. He goes, you can have it out. I said. You didn't even, yeah, I know I can have it out, but you didn't even look at the severity yet. He goes, you haven't given me any time. I'm just telling you, your options are you can remove it.
Right.
You can have, a cyber knife. You can have seeds planted and grow flowers down there. Take the emphasis.
Which will be a nice surprise for your wife sometime.
Right.
Are those roses?
She could say, yeah, I've always loved, and they're pink roses, which is really nice. But the first thing was not to blame the doctor. It was terror.
Right.
And you found out and you're going like, well, I'll look into this later. I don't really have the time now. I've got to get a haircut.
But here's the other thing. I very much want to be on the good side of my doctor, my nurses, the anesthesiologist, my dentist, all those people.
I do too.
I don't want to. Yeah, but when you present like that, like when you open your exam and drive right to the doctor's office without an appointment, that's a little.
It's a little aggressive.
I was trying not to say that.
It's I left and I found out because the nurse is a friend of mine. He came out of the office and he looked at her and he said, "Is he the nudgiest patient we have?"
I knew that was coming. All right, let's. We have so much stuff.
Is the show over?
Oh my god! We're going to take a break, though. I'm glad you're doing better. Yes, we're going to take a break, and we'll come back in just a few. We'll be right back.
Stay tuned for an outstanding entertainment program. You gotta be kidding me. No, I'm not kidding you. It really is an outstanding program. It's called You Gotta Be Kidding Me with Tony and Gary.
Yes, indeed. Thank you very much, sir. All right, Gary.
Yes.
Very funny story. We are, people are going to get used to this. Maybe I should just stop doing it. Gary, I knew Gary had a story to tell. It's at the very top. That's all we've done on this episode. But
I like that you show it. I like that you show it because we are very in the moment. We are in the moment.
We are. Yes, right. Yeah. That's fine. I like that. But I do want to do Since We Last Saw You. Now, it's very late in the episode.
That was a year ago, wasn't it?
Yeah, right. So every week we try to do something since we last saw you. What has happened during the last week? I've got a good one for you, I think. Let me just pull up my stats here so I have all the information. All right, Gary Stein.
Yes, sir.
Here's a question for you.
Sure.
During the last week, how many vinyl albums were sold in the United States during the last week? Vinyl albums, which have made a comeback.
Yes, I've been buying some.
Yeah, good. Yep, me too.
Yeah. So I think that between you, me, and Rob, 9.
Ooh, not bad. Well, it's completely bad, but
it's completely bad.
You got one of the numbers right. 900,000 vinyl albums during the last week. Now, that is based on a weekly average from last year because we don't know yet for 2026. But in 2025, in the U.S. alone, 46.8 million vinyl albums were sold, totaling over $1 billion in revenue. It was the highest amount of vinyl albums sold since 1983.
Wow.
Isn't that amazing?
But I don't feel it. Do you feel it? Do you feel like the world is sort of returning to vinyl? Because I know audiophiles are, but I don't really feel like it's a big deal.
If you go into Target, if you go into Barnes and Noble, a whole bunch of different stores, they sell albums now. Now they don't. Barnes and Noble has a pretty decent collection. Target has like the top 10 hits or something like that. But you see them. Yeah, for years you saw no vinyl, and in fact, I go into stores now. I see vinyl albums. I don't see compact discs, and in fact, compact disc sales are way down. here's what's crazy. Now, you know me. I collect records. I'm somewhat of an audiophile. I mean, but I love music. All of us do.
You're not a pedophile.
No, I'm not.
No,
I am not.
Well, being an audiophile is being an audiophile is legal and safer.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is. And you're merely collecting music.
Yeah.
Wow, took a dark turn. But so when CDs came out,
Yeah.
remember they told us this is it. This is going to be the final format for
improvement.
music.
Yeah.
It's an improvement, a vast improvement. It's smaller, easily collectible, and I went all in. I have thousands of CDs. When you and I were working at Good Morning America, what would we do sometimes? We would go across the street, what was that, Columbus
Tower
Circle, to Tower
Records.
Right.
Yeah.
And I would sometimes leave there with 15 CDs.
Yeah, and I'd buy one because of the difference between what we were making.
Yeah. I actually do remember. I remember this coming up when we were leaving the
I think
The
a lot.
CD that Gary bought was "How Do I Get on Camera?"
And it worked. It worked.
It worked.
It took a while, but it worked.
all these years later. But so slowly we realized when CDs first came out, we were like, they're not better. They don't really. I mean, there's this clean.
There was a clarity to it,
clarity. Thank you. Right.
but not a warmth.
Not
right?
a warmth. And it took a while for them to get that warmth. They finally figured out how to do that. But still, many people feel like if a good quality vinyl recording still sounds better than your best CD. But I bought expensive compact disc equipment and everything.
Oh, yeah.
I do have a turntable, but it's kind of crazy now, the way things are gone. Last year, okay, I told you vinyl revenue, 46.8 million, CDs, 312 million. No, is that right?
Wait,
vinyl revenue.
Say it again?
No, that can't be right. Vinyl revenue was more than 3 times that of CDs.
Oh,
Sorry.
okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah.
Tony, will you entertain a question?
Yes, I will.
Okay, yesterday, as we're recording, was Record Store Day.
Oh, that's right.
Which they do twice a year. Did you buy anything for Record Store Day?
I
It was not a great list this year.
It wasn't, and I completely forgot, to be honest. I have in the past because they put out special releases, but I did not this year.
I
Did
bought
you?
one thing that I would like to share with you. It's a great
yes.
toy.
Okay.
This is a repress of the Rolling Stones Satisfaction,
Look at that.
Satisfaction 45. But wait,
But wait, there's
it's
more.
a little record.
Oh, I love that.
And it really plays, and it's got an A side and a B side. It has Satisfaction and the Under Assistant West Coast Promo Man.
What would you play it on?
I have it does not play on an automatic return record player.
right,
It does
right.
play on a manual, and for some reason I got it to play on my 1950s Cobra-matic.
Problematic.
Yeah. But anyway, this was my favorite thing this year.
I
and
love
also,
that. I do love that.
a friend of mine once described this, and I think he got it right. He says a CD is like a gorgeous photograph, and an LP is like a painting.
I would say that's absolutely right.
Pretty accurate,
Absolutely
I think.
right.
You bring something very different to the show. Don't go away. I want to ask you a question.
Okay,
I want to ask
all right.
both of you a question.
Okay.
I'm under the impression that when you go into a Target or any one of those stores that sells LPs, that if you're buying any of the latest releases that are out on, streaming or whatever, however they release now, that you're getting a digital version. You're not getting an analog record sound. You're getting a brand new made digital version on vinyl.
I think that sometimes happens, especially if they're releasing something from like I was never happy with the audio on the Amy Winehouse album. The LP of that was
She wasn't either, and that's what caused the problem.
very, very dark, very dark. However, Jeff Lynne's last album was sort of an ELO record, but it wasn't.
Right.
If you this is really, really into the weeds, so I'll keep it quick. If you dragged it into editing software from a CD, it was all bricked. Everything was played at the maximum volume the whole time. And that's that digital loudness that people seem to like.
Right.
If you listen to the LP and drag that into a digital form, you see peaks and valleys and dynamics. So it matters project to project.
Yeah.
I think some of the best sounding modern LPs I've found are the Harry Styles catalog and the Billie Eilish catalog. They both sound great.
And are they recorded analog? Is that why?
I believe that there is some sort of analog conversion going into it, so it doesn't sound crispy like an MP3.
For next week, I'm going to get information on that and be able to deliver something. Yeah, and also, listen, Rob, when you disappear right after we finish talking about this,
yes,
would you find out how many 8-tracks sold in the last week?
You know what? I bet you in the past year, I'm probably towards the top of the list.
You would have to be if you're buying 8-tracks.
Well, I mean, I buy them if I see Elvis 8-tracks. And I always grab them for the shelf.
So you obviously you don't have an 8-track player, or you do?
I don't. They have not aged well. Hard to repair those.
Can I tell you something? This is a regret I have. So, there are Beatles.
Oh, you have a lot of those, don't you?
Well, yes. Well, regrets, I have a few, but...
Are we going to mention these?
Too few to mention?
Too few to mention, right.
We are so clever. We're so clever.
Right. And, but I think most people are getting that. What was I going to say? Oh. So, I used to go to Beatles conventions.
Sure.
Yeah. And buy memorabilia and stuff like that. I remember seeing once someone had for sale, it was a leather case specially made to carry 8-track tapes from back in the 70s. You opened it up. He had the complete Beatles Capitol collection on 8-track. In this thing. And I thought about buying it. My recollection is he was asking like $300 for it. And this is probably 25, 30 years ago. So that was a lot of money. And I remember thinking, 8-tracks.
Oh, you were already a billionaire. You could have afforded the $300.
Now I wish I had bought it. It's such a collector's item.
Find.
I really wish I bought it.
That is cool. Yeah, I would have gotten that too. No, I wouldn't have because I wouldn't have had the money. But then I would have also regretted it.
Right.
Could I tell you something very dorky but not nudgy?
Yes.
So in
Dorky, not Nudgey.
Yeah, dorky, not nudgy. Oh, okay, that's the time. All right, so in 1974. I was able to get my very first new car, and it was a Volvo. It was very ugly, but I bought it because I wanted to be, like gas minded, which would be very helpful today.
Sure.
But I went whole hog there on the audio system, and I bought quadraphonic 8-track sound with an 8-track player mounted right in the middle of it. And what I thought about how stupid this format is that you have to allow a song to cut out wherever it needs to cut out so it can switch tracks.
Yes.
And you just accepted it. But it was, how stupid was that? And it didn't last very long.
I've always said it was the worst format for music ever. But they were very popular. I worked in a record store in the 70s, and it was interesting. We were near Fort Belvoir military base. A lot of the military personnel would come in and they would buy 8-tracks, wouldn't buy albums because they could carry them with them wherever they were going.
Yeah.
Right, yeah. But 8-tracks, so literal, for those who don't even remember, an 8-track, literally, you would have a song, and they would do one of two things. It would, give me a song. I Want to Hold Your Hand. Oh, yeah, tell you something. I wanna hold your hand. Either that, or they would fade it out and then fade it back up. Look at that.
Of course you do. Of course you do.
Rob is holding up an Elvis 8-track. Boy, that brings back memories. See?
Listen, for all of you 18-year-olds that are watching the YouTube feed, that's what that is.
Right.
Okay.
So,
you know what? It had a great amount of tactile satisfaction.
It did.
Because you chunk it in, right?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely right.
It would make that connection. You like
handling it, and that when you stuck it in. I was just telling Gary about how the music going from one track to the other would either be faded out and then faded up, or just this in the middle of a song.
The worst 8-track to buy would be American Pie. No more Don McLean for me.
Or an audio 8-track book.
Right. The other thing that was crazy about them was, but makes some 8-tracks highly collectible. Sometimes, if they decided to spend the time on it, and Capitol did this sometimes, I know with Beatles albums, they would reconfigure the song sequence so that the whole songs would fit on each of the tracks. So you would buy like Rubber Soul, and it's completely different from any other version of Rubber Soul. And the Beatles must have hated that. Like, what is this?
No, I'm sure John loved that.
He was so accepting, you know.
Yeah. Right. He was sort of a meet in the middle kind of guy. But anyway, happy Record Store Day to all that observe, I guess.
Hope you enjoyed it. All right. So that's since we last saw you. Now, I just want to do one thing really quick. This show is comedy and entertainment and just,
You think?
Well, yeah,
I hope so.
No politics, but
we don't do that.
We don't do politics, but I got to play something from the last week that was one of the funniest things to happen this week. I'll bet you probably know what I'm talking about.
Well, I'm conjuring something. Yes, go ahead.
Secretary of Defense Pete Hegseth speaking to a group and quoting the Bible, or so he thought.
Yeah.
But many people online, and it's appeared to me some in the group that he was speaking to immediately recognized the verse that he was quoting, because some of them seemed to smirk and laugh a little bit. He was quoting a scripture from Pulp Fiction. Let's hear a little bit of both of those speeches.
I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to poison and destroy my brothers.
And I will strike down upon thee with great vengeance and furious anger those who attempt to capture and destroy my brother.
A recent speech from Pete Hegseth may sound familiar to movie fans. The Secretary of Defense cited a Bible verse when speaking at a Pentagon worship service on April 15th, but the scripture he quoted appeared to resemble an embellished version made famous in Quentin Tarantino's 1994 classic, Pulp Fiction.
All right, that's just funny. That is just really...
It's also delicious.
Right, it really is. It really is. Now, some people have come to his defense and said, well, wait a minute, this is based on an actual quote from Ezekiel, and there is a much shorter verse in the Bible. It doesn't have all the extra embellishment and the violence and all that kind of stuff that Samuel Jackson and Quentin Tarantino came up with.
Right.
So he was quoting from Pulp Fiction, not the original verse in the Bible.
But he's going to wind up saying, or his people will wind up saying, I knew I was making a joke. It's got to be out there already, right?
Yeah, and that may have happened already since when we recorded this. I just thought it was hysterical.
I also think that the difference between the voices is really stunning, because Samuel Jackson has that thing, and Pete Hegseth sounds like a choir boy.
Right.
He's got this high little voice.
But he wished he could have sounded like Samuel Jackson during that.
Yes.
When he was reading that right there.
Yes.
All right. Our next topic that we want to talk about, we want to talk about television a little bit, because this is a season where all of a sudden we've had a whole bunch of shows come back, particularly to streaming, that have been away for, in some cases, very long periods of time.
Yep.
You and I have both watched a number of these shows.
Yes.
And I suspect Rob has as well. And I just wanted to offer, talk about some thoughts in terms of where these shows are now and what's happening. If I could just find my notes, Gary, help me here. No, there we go. Okay. All right.
I'm not where you are. I can't help you find your notes.
Come on, Gary, produce.
I know. There's no excuse. I got to be able to deliver.
That's right. All right. The first show up for grabs, The Comeback, starring Lisa Kudrow. Yeah.
Wow. Oh, boy, I have feelings about this, Tony Perkins.
Oh, okay. And I'm so we might have similar feelings based on what you're saying. Let me set this up first of all. She plays a sitcom. Well, she plays an actress in Hollywood. Victoria Cherish, is that her name, I think?
Valerie Cherish.
Valerie Cherish, yes. Who's just completely oblivious to how oblivious she is. Is that
And
a
this
fair way?
is Lisa Kudrow. We should
Kudrow.
mention.
That's right. That's right.
Yes.
Yeah. Season 1, which was highly regarded, came out on HBO in 2005.
Right.
Now, it was highly regarded because it's one of these meta shows. It's about the business. We've seen the studio last year. We saw that. It's about the business. People in Hollywood love that because you see behind the scenes of the making of a sitcom, and she's trying to make a comeback, and she's just, can't quite do it. But the first season was highly regarded, although it was technically canceled at the end of that season. HBO said, okay, that's enough.
Right.
But then they brought it back 9 years later for season 2 in 2014. Now it's back 12 years later for season 3.
Yeah.
That's ridiculous.
Well, it's ridiculous, and also it's unfortunate because I don't know about you concerning season 1, which you say was highly regarded. It's probably one of the best things I've ever seen on television.
Wow. Okay.
It was meta, but the whole point of that show really was her personality dealing with being in that situation and how much she actually saw herself and how little she saw herself. And the ridicule from others, which you didn't like them because you kind of fell in love with Valerie Cherish.
Right.
It was the best season of a sitcom that was so smart. One of my favorites of all time.
Now, see, I remember really liking it as well, and thinking it was really, really good. But your memory's better than mine because I remember having that feeling, but I don't remember the episodes. It's been so long, and I kind of feel like when they bring something back like this after 20 years or whatever, it's like, do I have to go back and watch all the episodes all over again to get up to speed? And that's a lot to ask.
I don't know how they did what they did because if they decided they made a mistake about canceling it, season 2 showed you why it should have been canceled. Because season 2 was, Sarah and I were like, come on. And it just fell flat.
Okay.
And we thought, the old expression about jumping the shark, which means when a show is trying really hard, but they have nothing left in the coffer, nothing. Right. So it was showing that they had nothing new to offer that was going to make it better. What made them decide no show has a chance like this to come back? Why did they think there should be a season 3? And season 3 is painful.
Yes, it is.
Painful.
I was wondering what you felt about that. Yeah, it is painful. And you hit on something. Season 1, you're rooting for her. You like her. You don't like the people who are making fun of her.
No, you're protective.
This time, I can't take her.
No.
I don't like her.
Right.
It's because it seems like she should know better by now,
Yes, and the innocence of the character, not recognizing very often in the first season that people were making fun of her. She didn't always recognize that.
Right, that's right.
And so we got behind her.
Right.
Now you can see why people are making fun of her.
Yes.
And that's what's really hard because you and I both, Sarah too, we want to like it.
Yes.
But I don't, the character is now a caricature of the character that she created in the first season.
That's absolutely
and
right.
I'm not liking it. And yet, we tape before the Tuesday drop.
Yeah.
I'm actually going to watch the newest one tonight as if I'm hoping for something better.
So you tell me what it's like because I've already kind of decided I'm out on this. I think they brought it back because the concept is a great concept. She's trying to make another comeback and she's going to star in the first AI written sitcom. That's very timely. There's a ripe opportunity for satire there. So I think that's why they brought it back.
But it's sad.
We'll see if they pull it.
For many of us, I don't think you had to be an actor to feel like this is a real problem, but Sarah and I were actors.
Right.
And we don't like what she's going through that will, I think, make real actors obsolete at some point.
It's a little too close to home, maybe.
It is totally too close to home. And everybody's making fun of her in this show. Nobody's coming to her rescue.
Right.
And I'm waiting for the jokes. And she's doing Valerie Cherish, which has a lot of quirkiness and fun to it, but
Right.
the premises are not fun.
She is still a great actress. I still like her.
She
I just
is
don't
great.
like this. Don't like the show. Your Friends and Neighbors. Are you watching that? John Hamm, Olivia Munn.
Sarah's been telling me for a long time that she watched the first season and
Yes,
loved it.
it was
We
great.
have simply not got into season 2. You have to tell me what's going on and how you feel about the difference.
Okay, so season 2, and I've only watched one episode so far. It's coming out weekly, I believe. This is another example of, to me, season 1 was perfection. Unique concept. This guy who it's about a rich people, in the suburbs with these magnificent homes, and how they're all leading these lives that people would kind of aspire to, maybe, but behind the scenes, of course, the marriages are terrible, people are doing terrible things, and John Hamm's character, no spoiler alert because the whole first season has run. It came out 2 years ago, I guess, or a year ago. The John Hamm character loses his job as a hedge fund
That's right.
manager, whatever it is, and he starts stealing from his friends, breaking into their homes and stealing things that he knows they will never miss and selling them, and that's how he's making his money. All right, the whole thing turns into a big murder mystery last year. It resolves. This year we pick up sometime after the events of last year, and we're going back into that world, but I don't buy it. It doesn't make sense because he got away with what he was doing last year, and he's offered, spoiler alert, if you haven't watched any of the episodes, this is a spoiler alert, he's offered his old job back with back pay, rich again, making lots of money. Okay, maybe he doesn't love the job, but instead he doesn't take that on some weird principle and goes back to doing what he was doing before, and this time involves somebody, one of his friends, who this friend would never do this, but he's in on it now, and it's like, this is unbelievable.
So you felt like it was. So you thought you could buy the reality of it in season 1.
Yes.
But now you can't.
Now I can't because no one would make the decision to continue doing what he was doing, and his nemesis from season 1 is back. And she is now a real estate agent, which kind of doesn't make sense. It
seems to me that they had to give him they had to offer the old job back, but he couldn't take it because there'd be no show.
That's absolutely right.
Right? So it feels contrived now.
Yes.
Because they're looking to save the show, so they can't let him do the job he had in the first place. Because there's no premise now.
This is why I feel, and this is kind of what I'm getting to here, I feel like there's some shows that when you hear they're coming back, you almost wish they weren't coming back. It's like, no. It was perfect the way it is. That will, stand the test of time. Don't force it. And sometimes I think they force it with some of these shows. And there have been many shows like, okay, Your Friends and Neighbors, season 1, great. I'll watch another episode or 2. If I still don't like it, I'll be done. I'll always hold that first season in high regard, and that'll be it for me. I just won't watch seasons 2, 3, 4, 5, all of that kind of stuff because it's ridiculous.
Well, now let me just bring something up too, because maybe we won't get him anyway. We do have guests or whatever.
Yes, yeah.
Was there a big clamoring to bring Zach Braff back in Scrubs? Because I think we just lost him as a guest. But,
no. He'll be a great guest.
But why Scrubs? And how many years later though?
You know what?
Is this?
Now I haven't seen it. Have you seen it yet?
No, I've had the opportunity to watch it, but I have not
give it a
watched
chance.
it.
You know why I think this one is back? Because he and his partner. What is the other actor's name?
Actor. Yeah.
The black guy that he's doing all the commercials for, T-Mobile, I think it is. That's not his name.
Isn't it AT&T?
Is it AT&T? Okay. I think because those they're together in these commercials.
And they've maintained a very close friendship. They have.
Maintained a friendship. And I think someone just saw that and said, you know what? These guys are still around. They're still very likable. All the actors are still around from the old one.
Donald Faison.
Thank you very much.
I think it's Faison.
I think I think it's Faison, but we'll have to check that out.
Okay.
It's pronounced Zach Braff.
I think that one I kind of understand why it's come back, and I don't remember exactly what the premise is, but I read the premise and it makes sense. So they're not all in their same roles exactly.
No.
Right,
Yeah.
right. But I think that might be. We should both watch it and see what we think. And I think Zach would be a great guest.
Okay. Okay.
We should.
I have a beeline to Zach.
Okay.
He grew up about a block away from where I raised with my wife. We raised our children.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Really?
Yep.
So
South
did
Orange.
you meet him? Did you ever meet him?
I did. I did. Yeah, I hit him. I don't remember why. I think because he got a sitcom and I didn't. I was supposed to.
Yes, you're very bitter.
Because remember, I had a production schedule for a sitcom. It didn't happen. His did, and so that didn't seem fair.
So did you have you were going to be in a sitcom?
Yeah.
I don't remember this.
You don't?
No.
So. You know that Sam McGrath. I mean, this is for like another day. But Sam McGrath and I created two characters.
Yes, I know.
That we did all over L.A.
Right.
And every time we did it, we were put under contract for a sitcom about them at Paramount, at Fox, at Universal, everywhere. And then we got so close that we were picked up and we had a production schedule. Wow. We were 2 weeks away from production with a guaranteed shooting commitment, and it didn't shoot.
Oh, my goodness. Now, did a new executive come into the studio or something? Yeah, that's what happens all the time.
And we didn't know that behind the scenes, our director was having fights with Universal. We don't know anything. We're just getting ready. We're also guaranteed the opportunity to write 4 of the initial episodes.
Wow.
And we're in. Our contract said that we were in all episodes.
Wow.
Sam and I, Sam.
Yes, Sam is a
Sam and Graffia,
actor in L.A., yes.
And a writer.
And a writer, yes, written books.
So when it died, we were told it was dead. We had offices on the Universal lot, and we sat in front of the commissary for an hour, not speaking. We were just watching people walk in and out. We weren't mad at each other. We couldn't speak. Yeah. I looked at him and I said, I'm done.
Yeah.
And he said, with what? I said, acting. I'm just going to keep writing. And he said, you'll feel different tomorrow. I never acted again.
Never did. Wow.
No.
There are more people who have had that experience than there are people who have had the opposite, where the show is picked up and they go on to.
Absolutely.
This happens all the time.
Way more sitcoms are just passed by.
Yeah.
And very, very few are picked up. And if they are.
Imagine if it had been picked up and if it had hit, your life would be completely different.
Oh, I never would have had to meet you. I just like.
Never would have had to meet you.
No wonder my jaw hurts now, because I said a bad thing.
All right.
You don't know. Yeah, you really don't know. My wife was supposed to be the Ali Sheedy role in Breakfast Club.
Right. That's right.
And do you know how she found out she didn't get the job?
No.
Her agent read it in the paper.
Oh my goodness.
So we always say, imagine if Sarah had gotten the role. She was told by John Hughes, this is my cast.
Now, tell everyone what role she did have in what movie that everyone knows, so they've seen her in a movie.
Deep Throat. No.
That was later. That was later.
Ow,
No.
I can't. I'm going to tell her not to watch this episode.
Yeah, right.
No, Sarah had a very good part in Risky Business as Kessler, the babysitter, the woman he gets on top of on the kitchen table when they're yelling with megaphones and the SWAT team, Joel, get off the babysitter. That was Sarah. And while they were making the movie, she dated him.
Isn't that something? Something?
It's crazy. You can't make this up.
All right. So, guys, if you've never, go back, I'm sure you can pull up the scene on YouTube. That is Sarah that Tom Cruise is on top of.
Yeah. yes, he is. Yes. He's on my wife. Yes.
Right. And so how serious did they date? I mean, was he ever really on your wife?
Well, you're awfully personal here. It's like
I withdraw the question.
Do you?
I'm just trying to be funny. Yeah,
I will tell. Well, of course you are. But wait, let me just say, I will tell you this much.
What?
He took her out for her very first sushi dinner, and they went dancing on their first date. They went dancing on Rush Street.
Okay.
And she had the nerve to say to me, that he's probably one of the best kissers ever. And I said, that's enough.
Right. Yeah.
Okay?
I need to know.
That, I don't. But, at GMA, I met him 3 times.
Yeah, maybe
and
too.
I didn't want to like him, but I never met a nicer person in my life.
Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? People ask me all the time, you met a lot of celebrities and all that kind of stuff. Who were the great, really cool ones? And I always say Tom Cruise. We had the same experience. He came on. He is what you see. Funny, self-deprecating. He really is. And he was great. And when he finished his segment with Diane or Robin or whoever it was, he came downstairs where the crowd was, and he must have spent 30 minutes taking picture. Well, it's probably signing autographs at that time.
He was
signing autographs. There was some basketball segment on the show. I don't remember what. He's shooting hoops and just having a great time. And his publicist was like, "We got to go. We got to go." And didn't he say something like, "These people have been waiting here all morning"?
Absolutely. He said, "Listen, we're going to Regis." That's how long ago this was. We're going to Regis, and I'm not the first guest. They can wait.
Yep.
These people have been waiting all morning, and I'm not leaving until I sign the last autograph that somebody wants. Now, he didn't say that for anybody's benefit.
Right. No.
It's just the way he kind of rolled, right?
And when you reminded him, you said, my wife, Sarah, he was like, "Oh, Sarah."
I gave him one of her CDs and said, "Kessler, the babysitter, wanted me to give this to you." And well, of course, Sarah, my wonderful wife, who just doesn't have an ego. When I said to her, "I'm going today, Tom's going to be on the show, I'm going to give him one of your CDs." "Oh, he won't remember me. He won't." I said, "You're ridiculous. You were in his breakout film in a pivotal role that made him call the hooker."
Exactly.
That's why he called Rebecca De Mornay.
Right.
He had a dream about you.
That's right.
And I said, I'm taking it. I'm going to let you know what happens. And I walked up to him and said, "Kessler, the babysitter, wanted me to give this to you." And I was trying to be discreet because I'm a producer and you're not supposed to be like making noise with the superstars.
Right.
He starts screaming, "Joel, get off the babysitter. Joel, get off." And I'm going, "No, Tom." And his publicist was his sister. Come here. You got to look at this. Sarah Partridge. And then he looks at me. He goes, "One of the most wonderful, decent people I ever met in my life. Do you have kids?" I said, "Yes." He goes, "You have pictures?" I'm going, "Yeah, Tom." I'm taking out pictures, and he's taking out pictures of his kids. Yeah. And we're swapping and looking, and I'm going, "You are just amazing."
I've never told you this. When he
was
leaving.
Then don't. Okay, go ahead.
Maybe I should.
No, go.
When he was leaving, I was walking with him as he was going outside, and he said to me, "Sarah Partridge, great kisser."
Can I take back don't? Can I take back, your instincts were correct. You were correct.
All right. We are out of time.
I just don't like you. Are we really?
Yeah, we are. You know what?
We didn't get through your list, though.
We didn't do that either, but you know what? That's fine. That is fine. We got a whole lot of more stuff that we can do next week.
We can.
I wanted to bring this up. Thank you, Rob. Gary, your background, you changed your background. This is what it reminds me of. That's George Harrison's video, "When We Was Fab." That's what it looks like.
That's why I changed it. Yeah. Because I knew that Rob was going to bring this in at the end of the show, and I wanted to make the connection and make a nice sandwich at the end.
When you changed your background, I thought, "Oh, Rob, can you please pull this up?" And then I almost forgot all about it. You do look like you're in a comedy club. That's the classic comedy club.
I am in a comedy club.
Yeah.
I am.
Well, that is true.
And I'm very grateful. Yeah.
As am I, even though you did have to meet me because of the way life took its turn. That is it for this episode, boys and girls, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you so much for listening. Please, as always, tell your friends, tell your colleagues. We want to build this thing and make it a big deal. The
biggest.
Yep. So that we can be rich, have a falling out, sue each other, and become bitter enemies.
Oh, so we're Abbott and Costello, I guess.
And a whole lot of other people, too. Yeah. Martin and Lewis, all kinds of people. Right?
Did I tell you I had a tooth out? It was on this side. Right here.
You know
I
what?
feel like a gaping hole in there. It's terrible.
We'll go off and you can tell me more about it.
Okay.
See you next week. Thank you.
So the way they went in and they yanked it out,
Thank you for listening to another episode of You Gotta Be Kidding Me. Make sure you continue your visit on Facebook and Instagram. And don't forget to like and subscribe wherever you get your podcasts. And follow us on YouTube. This is Donnie Simpson speaking for You Gotta Be Kidding Me, a production of the Podcaster's Warehouse. And yes, I endorse this podcast.